Alright, this was like our first real honey harvest from one of our hives here. We only have one hive that's left, but it's a really strong hive. And on this day, I think it was like around late March, I had pulled 6 frames of honey. And the coolest thing about this was that you could see all the different types of honey in the hive. Like some of the honey was much lighter and some of the honey was much darker. I think we had like goldberry honey, orange blossom honey, and then saw palmetto honey. And I think the saw palmetto honey was like the lightest honey. But I'm going to show you some of the frames here. Some of the frames, I did like 9 frames in some of the upper boxes. And the bees just made these frames so fat, I couldn't even fit them into the extractor. I'll show you the extractor here in a moment. But I'm using this tool here to uncap some of the wax and let that honey just ooze on down into our extractor. Having an extractor has been a game changer. One of our friends let us borrow his. And the last time I pulled one frame, we did like the crush and strain method, which I really don't recommend. It's kind of a pain. It takes a lot more work. This extractor, we were able to get this done a lot faster. It still took almost the entire day to get all this honey, but having that extractor really sped things up. And you can see here, I'm just breaking the honeycomb wax and letting that honey just kind of naturally fall out. Here's what it looks like when it's in the extractor. We're putting some of the frames in here. And this honey was just absolutely golden. The smell was incredible. Like you smell the wax, you smell the honey. And the whole kitchen just smelled like sweet, delicious honey. There's something really satisfying about harvesting your own honey. You feel like you're getting like your own land kind of in a bottle. It's kind of hard to explain, but you get to smell like the flowers and the honey, and it's really something special. So here you can see I'm uncapping the rest of the wax off this frame, and we're about to put this into the extractor and give it its spin. So it goes down on in there. You got to make sure it goes all the way down. Now this frame was one of the fatter ones, and we wanted to try some of the honeycomb off this because it was so fat that it wouldn't fit in the extractor. We're going to just have to cut off this honeycomb. And she wanted to try some of this honeycomb. And this is what I was saying. This is like the much lighter honey. To me, this looks more like the saw palmetto honey. It's a much lighter color. It's almost like a white honey. And this stuff was incredibly sweet, absolutely delicious. And you can see how beautiful the honeycomb is when the bees make it. It really is pretty cool having bees and seeing how they work. And she's going to try this one here.
Yeah, but I do feel like it's very waxy.
Yeah, it's wax. It's so sweet.
Best honey ever?
I think the white stuff is the saw palmetto.
The really light honey.
Yeah, because look how rough this one is.
Wow, the different flavors is crazy.
So at this point, we had the honey in the extractor, and we start spinning it, and it uses centrifugal force to just pull all the honey off. This was about an hour later after we had spun out all the honey. Now we're getting it over into clean jars. We wash the jars out, we dry them off. You don't want to have any moisture in the jars because that can make the honey ferment. And at this point, we're just amazed at how much honey we got from this one hive. And it was, like I said, it's March. I think we're going to have a good nectar flow till about June here in Florida. So we're probably going to get quite a bit more honey. And my hive is actually 4 deep boxes tall, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to add a 5th box, actually, I think soon. Here's what we ended up with. It was about 40 pounds of honey after it was all weighed out. And we try to use smaller jars because I want to have some to give away. But we have quite a few big, I think these are 3-quart jars here. But this honey was dark, and some of it came out a little lighter, but man, did it taste good. There's nothing like fresh honey off your own property. So here's another photo of all the jars, and that's just from 6 frames.